Yeah, a couple issues there. Early, you get backed up, you're far away, headset goes out. There's some things there when it's real cold. We just got to be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault. We just got to be better as a collective group. All shoulder the blame. That starts with me to make sure that everybody's communicating the way we need to.
Headset goes out. That's what Brown's offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, just admitted in a press conference. That's sending shockwaves through the NFL. Wrong plays, communication breakdowns, and now we're finding out it might not have been an accident. While Shedeur Sanders is out there fighting for his life with receivers who, let's be honest, should be taking your coffee order at Starbucks, his own offensive coordinator is secretly interviewing for the Michigan job and can't even get the right plays into his helmet. But here's where it gets wild. The same week Shedeur's completion percentage becomes national news. Suddenly the headsets malfunction. The wristband has the wrong plays, and Tommy Rees is dodging questions like he's Neo in the Matrix. Nah, something doesn't add up here. And we're about to expose the whole thing.
Oh, they asking him about him trying to skip town. Hold on.
Where does that stand?
Yeah, similar to that.
Where does that stand?
Yeah, so as you're working your progressions.
Hey, Tommy, your name has come up as a candidate for that Michigan job. Where is that?
Let me paint you the full picture, because this is one of those stories where the more you dig, the worse it gets for Cleveland's front office. Shedeur Sanders walks into that press conference after the Chicago game, and reporters are all over him about his completion percentage. He's sitting at 20 points lower than his college numbers. Everyone's wondering what's going on with the golden boy from Colorado. And Shedeur, being the professional he is, takes it on the chin. He talks about adjustments, learning the NFL game, getting better each week. But then Tommy Rees steps up to the podium the next day, and suddenly we're getting a completely different story. And this is where your alarm bell should be going off. First, let's talk about what Rees actually admitted when asked about the operational problems during the game. You know those moments where Shedeur looked confused at the line, where plays were coming in late, where the offense looked completely out of sync. Tommy tries to brush it off as weather issues. Headset goes out. There's some things there when it's real cold. Wait, hold up. The headset goes out in an NFL game in 2024. We got technology that can review every blade of grass on the field in 4K, but we can't keep a quarterback's headset working in cold weather. Come on, man. This is the same league that plays games in Green Bay, Buffalo, and Minnesota every single winter. Cold weather headset issues. That's the excuse we're going with. But it gets better or worse, depending on how you look at it. Rees then says, and I quote, "We just got to be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault." Oh, so now it's a collective problem. But when Shedeur's completion percentage is down, when the offense isn't scoring, when drives are stalling out, that's all on the rookie quarterback, right? That's what the media has been saying for weeks. But when it comes to wrong plays getting called, suddenly it's everybody's fault and nobody's fault at the same time.
Solely on the quarterback. There's other areas.
I mean, yeah, we got a wide receiver court that should be working at Home Depot. He's throwing to some dudes that should be taking your orders at the local Starbucks right now. The dudes that are blocking on the offensive line should be working at the local warehouse putting together couches and table frames. What are we talking about?
Let me break down what's really happening here, because this is the part that should make every Shedeur fan absolutely furious. Tommy Rees is out here talking about completion percentages, like it's all on the quarterback. He says the completion percentage is also not solely on the quarterback. Okay, cool. But then what does he say right after? He basically admits that throwing to dudes who should be working at Home Depot and Starbucks. And I'm not even making that up. That's literally in the transcript. The offensive line should be working at the local warehouse putting together couches and table frames. Jerry Jeudy can't catch a cold. These are the guys Shedeur is supposed to make look good. Think about what Shedeur had at Colorado. He had Travis Hunter, one of the best receivers in college football history. He had a supporting cast that actually showed up. He had protection. He had an offense designed around his strengths. And what does Cleveland give him? A receiving core that drops passes, an offensive line that can't hold blocks, and an offensive coordinator who's literally interviewing for other jobs while his rookie quarterback is drowning. Because, oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the best part yet. Right in the middle of this press conference, a reporter asks Tommy Rees point blank, "Your name has come up as a candidate for that Michigan job. Where does that stand?" And watch how he answers. "Yeah, similar to I said, like, I'm here, and I'm focused on this job, and focused on the improvement of our players. That's not a denial. Fam, that's not I'm not interviewing. That's not I'm committed to Cleveland. That's politician speak for I'm trying to get the hell out of here, but I can't say it publicly yet." The reporter follows up, "But have you been contacted by Michigan right now?" And Tommy literally says again, "I don't want to get into a lot of that conversation." Bro, what? Your rookie quarterback is fighting for his career. Your offense is ranked near the bottom of the league. You just admitted to operational failures and communication breakdowns, and you're out here taking calls for Michigan. Let me tell you what this looks like from the outside. This looks like a coach who's already checked out. This looks like a coordinator who knows the ship is sinking and he's looking for a lifeboat. This looks like somebody who doesn't believe in the system he's running or the players he's coaching. And here's the thing that nobody's talking about. If Tommy Rees is already mentally preparing for his next job, how much effort do you think he's putting into developing Shedeur? How much do you think he cares about getting the plays in right? How much do you think he's invested in making sure this offense succeeds? I'll tell you, not much, because if he cared, those headsets wouldn't be going out. The wristband would have the right plays. The communication would be clear. The offense would look prepared. But instead, what do we see? We see a rookie quarterback who's being set up to fail by an organization that doesn't know what it's doing. Now, let's talk about the deeper issue here. And this is where it gets really controversial. Mary Kay, one of the reporters at this presser, asks about Shedeur pressing when the team falls behind. And notice how she frames it. He's trying to get back in the game. But is he though? Or is he trying to overcome the terrible situation he's been put in? Rees talks about finding completions and not trying to get it all back in one play. He mentions Kevin O'Neill coaching J.J. McCarthy the same way. But here's the difference. J.J. McCarthy has an offensive coordinator who's actually committed to being there. J.J. McCarthy has a team that's building around him. J.J. McCarthy isn't dealing with headset malfunctions and wrong plays showing up in his wristband. Shedeur is out here playing hero ball because he has to. When your receivers can't get open, when your line can't protect, when your coordinator is daydreaming about an arbor, what choice do you have? You either try to make something happen or you accept losing. And Shedeur Sanders didn't come from Coach Prime's program to accept losing. But here's what really pisses me off about all this. And Shedeur fans, I need you to pay attention to this part. Tommy Rees stands at that podium and talks about positive reinforcement and finding the areas we need to improve. He talks about explosive plays and good throws and extending plays. He gives Shedeur just enough credit to make it sound like he's being supportive. But then when things go wrong, collective group, nobody's fault. Weather issues. That's manipulation, my friends. That's a coach covering his own ass while setting up his quarterback to take the blame when things inevitably fall apart. Because here's what's going to happen. If Cleveland's offense continues to struggle, and let's be real, it probably will with this supporting cast. Who's going to take the heat? Is it going to be Tommy Rees, who's already got one foot out the door to Michigan? Is it going to be the front office that put together this roster? Nah, it's going to be Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback who is supposed to save the franchise, and that's the agenda. That's what's being exposed here. They're setting Shedeur up to be the scapegoat while everyone else escapes responsibility. But you know what? I'm not buying it. And if you've been paying attention, really paying attention, you shouldn't buy it either. Let's look at what Shedeur actually done with the garbage situation he's been given. Rees himself admits there have been explosive plays. The throw to IB down the middle of the field, perfect timing. The post route against zero coverage, on time, accurate. Delivered while getting hit, evading pressure, and extending plays, he's doing it consistently. Rees even says his accuracy is one of his greatest strengths. So, if Shedeur is accurate, if he's making explosive plays, if he's evading pressure and extending plays, why is his completion percentage down? Could it be the receivers who can't catch? Could it be the offensive line that can't block? Could it be the play calling from a coordinator who's mentally already in an arbor? Could it be the communication breakdowns and wrong plays and headset malfunctions? Nah, couldn't be any of that. Must be the rookie quarterback's fault, right? Wrong. Here's what I think is really happening, and call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but the pieces fit too perfectly. Cleveland knew they were getting a big name when they drafted Shedeur. They knew the media attention that would come with it. They knew the expectations, but did they actually build an offense ready to support him? Did they give him the weapons he needed? Did they invest in protection?
No.
They gave him spare parts and told him to make it work. And when he couldn't turn water into wine, when he couldn't magically make Jerry Jeudy remember how to catch or make the offensive line remember how to block, the narrative shifted to the rookies struggling. Meanwhile, Tommy Rees is interviewing for other jobs, admitting to operational failures and deflecting blame left and right. But here's the beautiful thing about Shedeur Sanders. He doesn't need their approval. He doesn't need Tommy Rees to believe in him. He doesn't need the media to give him credit, because Shedeur Sanders came from Colorado, where he faced more pressure, more scrutiny, and more hate than most NFL rookies will ever see. He played behind a struggling offensive line there, too. He dealt with drops there, too. He dealt with critics saying he couldn't do it there, too. And what did he do? He balled out. He proved everyone wrong. He showed up every single week and put the team on his back.
Yeah, a couple issues there. Early, you get backed up, you're far away, headset goes out. There's some things there when it's real cold. We just got to be better as a collective group. There's not one person at fault. There's not one player at fault, one coach at fault. We just got to be better as a collective group. All shoulder the blame. That starts with me, to make sure that everybody's communicating the way.
And you know what the crazy part is? When Tommy Rees leaves for Michigan, and he will leave. Don't kid yourself, Shedeur is going to still be in Cleveland. He's going to get a new coordinator. He's hopefully going to get better weapons. And when he starts putting up numbers, when he starts winning games, everyone's going to act surprised.
Oh, wow.
Shedeur figured it out. He made the adjustment. Nah, Shedeur's been ready. It's the organization that wasn't ready for him. So let me ask you this, and I want you to really think about it. Who benefits from Shedeur struggling? Who benefits from the narrative that he can't hack it in the NFL? It's not Shedeur. It's not Cleveland. It's not the fans. It's people like Tommy Rees who can deflect from their own failures by pointing at the quarterback. It's the front office who can justify their terrible roster construction by saying even a first-round QB couldn't fix this. It's the media who gets clicks and views from hot takes about Coach Prime's son washing out. But we're not going to let that narrative win, because we see what's really happening. They tried to sabotage him with wrong plays and headset malfunctions. They surrounded him with receivers from the clearance rack. They gave him an offensive coordinator who's already planning his exit strategy. They threw him into the fire and expected him to burn. But Shedeur Sanders doesn't burn. He rises. And when all this smoke clears, when Tommy Rees is gone and the truth comes out about what really happened in Cleveland, Shedeur is going to be standing tall while everyone else is scrambling for excuses. So now I'm turning this over to you. Do you think Tommy Rees sabotaged Shedeur on purpose, or is this just incompetence from top to bottom? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started. And if you think Shedeur is being set up to fail, let me know, because we need to keep this energy and keep exposing what's really going on. Here's another question. Should Shedeur demand a trade if this continues? Should he pull an Eli Manning and refuse to play for a team that's clearly not invested in his success? Or should he stay and prove everyone wrong the hard way? That's a real debate, and I want to hear both sides in the comments. And one more thing, when Tommy Rees officially leaves for Michigan, and this all comes out, when we find out just how checked out he really was, how do you think the media is going to spin it? Are they going to apologize to Shedeur for the slander? Are they going to admit they were wrong? Or are they just going to move on to the next story and pretend like they weren't part of the problem? Look, at the end of the day, this is bigger than just one press conference or one game or one season. This is about a young man's career being put in jeopardy by people who don't have his best interests at heart. This is about an organization that's more worried about covering their own mistakes than developing their franchise quarterback. This is about a system that's designed to protect everyone except the player who needs protection the most. But if there's one thing we know about Shedeur Sanders, it's this. He's built for moments like this. He's built for adversity. He's built to overcome the doubters and the haters and the saboteurs. Tommy Rees can take his headset malfunctions and his wrong plays and his Michigan dreams somewhere else. Jerry Jeudy can keep dropping passes. The media can keep pushing their narrative. None of it matters because when it's all said and done, Shedeur is going to be the one still standing. And we're going to be right here watching him prove everyone wrong. If you made it this far, you're part of the real ones who actually care about the truth. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video where we continue exposing what's happening in the NFL. Drop a like if you think Shedeur is being done dirty, and share this with anyone who needs to know what's really going on. This is bigger than football. This is about respect. This is about accountability. This is about making sure the right story gets told. And we're just getting started.